What is going on YouTube? Hayden Schreier making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, I have some important news to discuss with you guys. So hopefully you guys have seen this. If not, this will be a great video. So basically a Cointelegraph article posted yesterday, or actually 5 hours ago, so this is recent, that got Bitcoin, US Fed warns national debt growth is not sustainable. This is huge. This is huge news that I really want to go into, dive in and discuss with you guys in regards to some pretty credible things happening to our economy that we need to pay some pretty cool attention to, or some pretty close attention to. Now, obviously, there are some viewers that are not in the US, so sit back, relax, and leave your comment about what you think is happening within the US right now. We will be looking at XRP as well as Bitcoin. We will be discussing Ethereum as well as Litecoin, because all of these cryptos are kind of consolidating and we're waiting to see some sort of big movement. We do know that movements are coming, but they're taking a little bit longer than we want, so we have to be patient. But I do want to just kind of plan out what exactly is ahead for these cryptos. Otherwise, guys, if you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Remember, we do a giveaway of free Bitcoin every Friday, which I believe is tomorrow. So all you have to do to enter that is leave a comment, #CryptoTV down below. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, definitely make sure to smash that subscribe button, and I'll do the drawings tomorrow. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So guys, let's discuss where we've left off. So as we know, we've been discussing XRP Ripple massive rally coming. We've talked about this potential breakout. Yes, it's getting repetitive. I know that. That's why we got to change some stuff up. We know that these breakouts are coming. We know that it's at the end. I can't keep making videos in regards to Bitcoin channeling all the way back down to here. That would be the 20th. That would be another 12 videos of the same content, because we know that crypto is going to blast down. Now, obviously, if we do see some sort of pump upwards and then a pump down, that would be a great video, because we could discuss how exactly we short that cryptocurrency, which I love having conversations like that. But unfortunately, that's not happening at this very second, so we have to talk about other things. And what better to talk about than the US economy? So as we know, got Bitcoin, US Fed warns national debt growth is not sustainable. The head of the United States Federal Reserve has admitted to current economic policy is not sustainable, but that is not its job to fix, which is interesting. Speaking during testimony before Congress Joint Economic Committee, on November 13th, Jerome Powell noted on the currently U.S. national debt is growing faster than nominal GDP, solving the debt spiral not up to the feds. So ultimately, in the long run, that's not the sustainable place, he said. How to fix that? It's not that easy. How do you do that? That's what, when you do, that is not the issue. That is up to you and not to us. Cointelegraph reported U.S. debt has now topped 23 trillion, around 70,000 per head of the population, or more than 1 million for each Bitcoin that will ever exist, which is crazy. And then he discusses, where is it? The Trump comment. So the comments came as U.S. President Donald Trump renewed calls for the negative interest rates, effectively charging savers to store fiat currency, and criticized the feds for not introducing them. Remember, we are competing with nations who openly cut interest rates, so that now many are actually getting paid when they pay off their loan. Whoever heard of such a thing? Give me some of that. Give me some of that money, he said in a speech. Debt-driven economic policy and its consequences were the main motivation behind Bitcoin, which appears after the 2008 crisis as hard money with deflationary supply impossible to manipulate. Bitcoin increasingly compared. So, it's huge. I don't even know where to begin and discuss with you guys about what's going on. Obviously, negative interest rates have been something that I discuss, especially since I'm a marketing major. We do go into discussion in regards to the fact that it is something that has been, added to the market. It is something that we have done in the past, I believe, and it is something that it looks like we may have to do again. I totally forget exactly what the negative interest rates are. Yeah, you get paid back money as you're holding on to mortgages and things of that nature, big loans, things like that. So you actually get money off of that in an influence to have you guys take out money, because they want you guys to be taking out money and buying things, because I think the more you spend this US dollar, the more you hold on to it, the more it will generate income and generate revenue, and it should lower the money that we owe and increase people buying and things like that. So I can go into specifics, I can definitely talk to some people in regards to negative interest rates. If that's something you guys want to hear, definitely let me know, because I do think it's quite important and I'd love for other people to talk about it. But so yeah, now he's referring to Bitcoin and the fact that Bitcoin and gold and these other coins, things of universal value, like the US dollar is only really worth anything in the US, but if you have gold, it can be worth the same price pretty much anywhere in the world. Silver, diamonds, things like that. And now Bitcoin, which is becoming this international universal value of currency. Obviously it fluctuates so much, but it does change all the time. And it is something that people use all over the world. I do business with people in Russia, China, France, Italy, all over the world with cryptocurrency, and it is awesome how I can communicate and get paid and pay people instantly all over the world with no big bank over our head. And that is a crazy thing too, because I do have stories that I like to talk about you guys with problems with the bank that, it just, when you get so frustrated and so powerless at big banks, you want to move into something where you have more control of your own money. But enough about that. Let's jump into the technical analysis in regards to the charting of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP. We are seeing XRP kind of rally up. It's nothing to be worried about, nothing crazy. We kind of hit rock bottom on the 4 hour, kind of seeing a small pop on the 4 hour back up to its resistance. You can see still nowhere near oversold, but you can see on the 4 hour we're starting to kind of retest this, and there's a good chance we're going to see some sort of retest and then a pop back down lower and then lower and then lower, due to the fact that there's really nowhere or no room for XRP to run until we see Bitcoin start to move as well. And as we know, Bitcoin did just take a small dip on its 4 hour yesterday from 87 down to 86. Now it does look fairly big, on the 4 hour charts, but in hindsight, it's really quite tiny, and we need to continue waiting once again, waiting and waiting and waiting for this coin to go lower and lower. We're setting lower lows and higher lows. We're setting higher lows right here. We're setting lower lows right here. You'll notice we're not heading up. We're just immediately heading down. Very similar to previous descending fractals, which we have all tracked in the past. And every time we do, we tend to hit oversold here on the 4 hour as well as the daily. Then we see the volume coming in, and that's when we shoot up. So we can see we're very close to being oversold on the 4 hour, but compared to the daily, we're still trending at 46. So we're a little bit lower than when we started up at 64. You can see back here, and we're kind of slowly taking a creep and crawl downwards, but once we tend to hit oversold on the daily, that's when I'll be buying in and expecting to see a major burst and pop in the coin. So I do think that short term, we are going to be fairly bearish, but the second we test the oversold line on the daily, I think we're going to pop up. And it's really not long, so I could say I'm long-term bullish, honestly, because in November 21st, at the most, we're going to probably see a major explosion, easily retesting $11,000 with on Bitcoin. XRP will definitely follow that, easily testing 30 cents once again, which is a huge profit. Even 35 cents is definitely possible and up for grabs, even 40 cents, honestly. So it's just about a week and a half wait before we see any sort of major volume. And, for those of you guys need to be aware that at the end of the descending fractal, we break bullish. Descending fractal, we break bullish. Descending fractal, we break bullish. Bigger descending fractal, we're going to break bullish at the end of it. It is almost guaranteed that there's a major chance we're going to be breaking bullish towards the end and skyrocketing up in price. You can see the markets are pretty much in that consolidation pattern right now, not really seeing much movement at all. Trading sideways, some coins are even dipping a little bit lower. I'd say the market's down about 1 to 2%, which isn't really terrible. I'm looking for this retracement. Now, it's not a hard or steep retracement. I guess we could have shorted there and sold out where we are now, but it's actually not that bad. That's pretty much what I did already on DueDEX. Now, I did take that trade. I did buy in at 9,600 and I sold at 88, and that's pretty much where the coin is right now. So it doesn't make sense for me to have held on to that. I did pretty much do it. I bought in right over here and I sold back over here when we dipped down that low. So that's where I made my money. Now, we haven't really been seeing much plays like that. Obviously, if we bought back in at 9,100, we could have sold out close to this. We would have made about 500 on each Bitcoin, but I am anticipating either consolidation and a big dip, or another pump back up to retesting 8,800, or basically the resistance up here, and then another big dip downwards because we are nearing oversold on the 4-hour, but eventually we need to wait for the daily to become oversold. Once that happens, expect the pop at the end of a descending fractal. This is huge. It's here to stay. We're going to be seeing some major movements. Ethereum's kind of retracing back upwards. You can see it does have an ascending triangle that tends to end around the 26th of November. So this is something small to consider. Usually these tend to break bearish, so I'm not really getting invested into Ethereum. And then Litecoin, which for some people are saying is in a really good standing. I honestly disagree as to right now. It looks like it's ready to break bearish and fall to significantly low levels. It's literally looking to go from 59 easily down to $40 within the next couple of days, due to the fact that we are fairly high up, 50 on the RSI. We just had a bearish cross right here on the on the MACD. You can see an obviously beautiful bearish cross on the daily. There's tons of signals. We're hitting resistance up here, hitting the high-low MMA. For those of you who are Litecoin hodlers, if you know how to short this coin, now's the time to do so, because I'm anticipating a retracement back down to the bottom. But then keep in mind, at the end of this, we tend to break extremely bullish like we saw. So that's also what I'm anticipating to see within Litecoin as well, a pretty bullish break to the upside. So keep that in mind as we pop up like that in the coin. That's pretty much going to wrap up today's episode, guys. Like I said, definitely interesting news happening within the U.S. economy. I'd like to talk about that a little bit more, get some people on the show who have spent quite some time discussing this as well. Lastly, guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notification, leave a giant thumbs up. Remember, giveaway for your $25 free Bitcoin tomorrow. So all you have to do is make sure to comment #CryptoTV, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.